Recording. Good morning, everybody. Tammy Bux here once again with the Qigong for Vitality series here at the beautiful Breathe Wellness Company. And what I'm going to do is the format, because it's a little bit more medical Qigong informed practice, I will spend a few extra minutes in the beginning just explaining to you which organ we're working on and what its purpose is in the body, and then how we clear it and how we nourish it. And so that'll be the format, a little closer to not exactly workshop style, but if you do have any questions, please feel free, after that first initial discussion, to just ask me about it or at the end of the class. And so if everyone can come to a comfortable seat, whatever that might be. And if you're at home, I do suggest that if you have trouble sitting on the ground, please feel free to sit on a chair or a cushion or a sofa or a bolster. Keep yourself as comfortable as possible. The idea isn't to punish ourselves. The idea is to actually feel heavy in the hips and to elongate the spine and open up that torso so that we've got space for the organs to move and open up as we breathe. So it's not about how bendy and flexible you are on the ground. It is your comfort and how long you can keep the spine and how the rib cage can be a little more spacious to fit those organs inside. So that's always my invitation to you all. And so I've got a little something written down about the spleen. And so, excuse me, in Qigong, we are part of the ecosystem of traditional Chinese medicine, which also includes acupuncture and the massage and the herbs and the movement and meditation. And so according to, is that Samantha? Yeah. Welcome. In case you need a chair, Samantha, if you're not comfortable on the floor, okay, but there's a chair at the back just in case. So just welcoming the new person here. So according to traditional Chinese medicine theory, the spleen is related to the earth element. So when we'll be drawing up and into the body from the earth, the color that is associated with it. So when we draw in, we associate that with a color. Samantha, you might want to slightly, yeah, that's okay. The color, they say it's yellow, but one of my instructors, he says it's a harvest gold. And I thought that's such a beautiful way of describing it. So we often connect to colors in nature. And so just at this time of year, you can see that harvest gold around us. And it was quite warm until Sunday and yesterday, Monday. The spleen is associated with the late summer. So that weather that we were having like a week or two ago, that's the kind of, heading into autumn, but the last flush of that, the fullness of the warmth in the air and the sun coming down. And so we bring these things into mind as we are breathing through it and as we are thinking. So the spleen is an organ that is just on the left-hand side of the rib cage above the stomach. So it's kind of like try and go up under the chest, and it's here. And so we can visualize the energy in the spleen. We don't, we can touch it now to see where it is, but afterwards, when we're breathing into the spleen, you can either hold it or you can just visualize your body, your mind going into that part of the body. As we practice, there will be a sound, a movement, emotions that we want to clear, and emotions that we want to nourish and bring in. And so just to give a little brief understanding of how the spleen works in the body, it's responsible for transforming food into vital nutrients and then transporting those nutrients to the rest of the body. And so the spleen is part of the digestive process. And interestingly, in TCM, so TCM is short for traditional Chinese medicine, excessive worry and overthinking can tax the spleen. Not just how you eat and what you do, but your thoughts and your emotions. And so that can stop the primary function of digestion and how you properly digest your food. Isn't it interesting? When you worry, often the first thing that gets activated is that digestive tract, right? And prolonged deficiency in the spleen leads to an accumulation of fluids, dampness, and it weighs you down, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. And then it's like it's a cascading circle, a downward spiral, because as you further weaken the spleen, it impairs the capacity to think clearly, to focus, and then it allows you to be susceptible to more worry. So that's that downward spiral. Mindfulness is one of the best practices to benefit the spleen. And so I love what it's written here. This is an acupuncture website. And so they're saying the spleen isn't great at multitasking. It's kind of making the spleen into like a person. So sometimes we're not very good at multitasking, and the spleen is not very good at multitasking. And so, you know, we live in this time of distraction. We're trying to do too many things at once, and we'll forget something, and we're further burdening the spleen to lead to even greater worry. And so we want to give the spleen the space to do one thing at a time, the one process at a time. And so when you're eating or reading or working, try and do just that one thing. I think you'll see a lot of cultures, when they're eating, they're just sitting down at the table and eating. They're not walking, they're not in the car, they're not sitting in front of the television. And that allows for the correct digestion. It brings a very soothing, calming feeling into the nervous system as well. And so let's try and just do one thing at a time, and you'll notice that you'll have improved digestion and less worry as a result. And so we will begin today with, as we always do in Qigong, so for people who are newcomers, in Qigong we like to clear the stress, tension, stagnation, and staleness out of the body through movement, through breath, through visualization. We make space, and then we nourish, and then we balance, ready to then go down. I add the laying down meditation. That's not necessarily part of Qigong, but I think it's very beneficial at the end of the class. So let's begin. Just for a few moments, what I think we'll do is just breathe in and out of the spleen so the mind gets, and let's bring our hands to that part of the body. And you can keep your eyes open or closed and just feel like soft in the shoulders, soft in the elbows. I don't want us to be hunching like that. Softness in the hands, just bring them and just feel that your mind into the body, that, okay, there's an organ there called the spleen and I have to take care of it. And I'm going to breathe into the spleen and breathe out. Just visualize that the spleen is gaining that oxygenation into the tissues, the connective tissues around those organs, mind into body, always with the utmost kindness, care, compassion for all of these beautiful organs that help our body run and allow us to not just live, but to thrive. Bring that sense of wellness into the spleen, focusing on that area that we'll be working on today. Gentle breaths, gentle, soft awareness. And now we can slowly just blink open the eyes if they were closed. So I think we'll just come straight to standing. So however it is safe and comfortable for you to come and stand and move your props away. We will use the bolster at the end of the class when we go into our final rest. And so we'll start our Qigong practice today, feet hip distance apart. And I do like always try and remind you to pick up your toes and fan them out and up. So we're creating space, and there's a feeling of the feet and the toes gripping whatever is underneath you. We get soft in the knees. Just allow the pelvis to be gently over the knees, over the ankles. Maybe we bring the shoulders up, back and down, and then behind the hands, the palms are facing back, the fingers are down, and we're in Wuji, which is the resting pose for Qigong, similar to mountain, just a little different placement of the hands. And we feel a little hollowness in the body. So this is the position we're going to come back to throughout the practice, where we pause and feel. Just breathing gently, getting in touch with the ground underneath, the air around us. And now if you've closed your eyes, open them up, and we'll start to do a whole body shaking. So the whole body shaking, it's generally starting from the ankles, the knees, the hips. And what we're doing is we can almost do a little pelvic thrust if we want. You can make it your own, as long as it's not, we're not overtaxing the lower back or getting into a dangerous position in the neck. But you can move the head from side to side, and even moving like the hands from the, and you know, the lovely thing when you move the hands, if you start from the fingers and the wrists and you move up the elbows and the shoulders, you get a really good kind of wiggle and jiggle. So I always like to tell you why we're doing something. I realized when I first started learning Qigong, I was like, what is this silly movement? What is it all about? Why are we acting like children who are impatient to go to the bathroom or something, right? And, and as I started to find out about what the benefits are, it just makes so much sense. So we are just engaging that lymphatic drainage. So the lymph is coming alive underneath the skin. We are actually working into the joints very gently to begin with. And so the stagnation, the staleness, that tension is often carried in the joints. Well, we say that in traditional Chinese medicine and Qigong. A lot of energy can get stuck in the hips, in the shoulders, knees. And in the morning, we need to get the lymph started because we've been dormant overnight. And so if those are the only two takeaways we have, there's many more benefits, but those are the two main ones that I like to discuss. And we just keep on breathing through it, and you can close your eyes and just make it a moving meditation. And I always want people to feel very free and liberated in how they're doing the movement. Now, I've told people who've come before, you can even like just strike your heels on the ground and get a bit of percussive movement up the leg bones. If you practice this every day, it's very good for bone density. You can even do a taller heel drop where you lift up and then drop. And that's another very striking. And that if that doesn't suit you, please don't do that. It can be quite jarring, but it's very good for the bone marrow and the density of the bones. And you can do that slower, do it faster, however you like. So we just keep on moving for a few moments more, shaking it out, shake the shoulders gently, gently with the neck. Keep on breathing. And a lot of these clearing exercises, it's very interesting that when we get the lymph going, you may need to pee at some point, right? Even in the middle of the class. If that's the case, please feel free to go and do that, because that's the lymph taking out the toxins and releasing the toxins through all the different pathways. So we can urinate. So urination, perspiration, respiration, defecation, these are the 4 ways to get rid of waste in the body. So we're breathing it out, we can sweat it out, we can pee it out, and go do our daily evacuation of the bowels. And so in 3, in 2, and 1, let's just gently, gently slow down and come to Wuji, stand, pause and feel. And there is a gap in the armpits, but we don't want to be a scarecrow. So just bring it down. So there's a descending quality to the energy, but there's a little space so the energy doesn't get stuck there. And now feel for that imperceptible tingling maybe a greater awakeness, aliveness. Just those few moments bring in so much vitality into the system. When the mind is in the body, we have less time to worry, less time for the thoughts to swirl around. And let's shake it out. Okay, because of the keep an eye on the time. Because of the smoke in the air recently, I thought we'd do some lung clearing, and then we go into the spleen clearing. So we've the people who've been here before, we've done this before. It's called Old Man in the Tide Pool. So we're clearing 3 organs. We start by clearing the lungs. Then we clear the heart, and then we clear the spleen and the digestive organs. And so there's a sound associated with each and a movement. And so the lungs, we have upper lobes and lower lobes. The upper lobe sound is like a snake, and the lower lobes sound is like that. So I think we'll alternate. Every second round, we'll do a s and a sh. And the heart is ha, and you feel that resonance in the heart space around the pericardium, massaging the tissues, the connective tissue around the heart. And then the spleen sound is hoo, hoo, a little lower, sorry, hoo, and we'll be bending over. So interestingly, the spleen, to massage the spleen, to clear it and release those toxins and clear out the emotion, there's always a bending, because we're bending in and the body is then pressing into that organ, and the connective tissue gets stretched and then pressed, and there's this beautiful kind of almost like an accordion, you know, like that and then like that. Okay, so let's start. We'll do 4 rounds of Old Man in the Tide Pool. I'll do it once the way through for anyone new at home or here who hasn't seen it. So we start, and it's a breath work. It's a moving meditation breath work. So just feel into it, inhabit those sounds, inhabit, and the sound is going to resonate in your body, but it's going to resonate in the room. And I think even you at home, you'll hear that resonance. It'll be a beautiful vibration that'll come across the airwaves. Don't worry, energy has no space and time, so you can be soaking it all in. Later on, we've created the energy in the room. You'll get all of that at home, I guarantee you, because I do a lot of my practice when I'm a student with my teachers at home, and I find it very, very powerful. So the beginning is to open up the arms and breathe in, breathe into the torso, breathe in so that the chest is wide, and then we bend over and we sweep the arms and we make the sir sound. So, and it's like, I'll show you standing up, and then when we go down, it's like the lungs are a bellows, you know, we're opening and closing. So you can see this action is squeezing the lungs and opening, squeezing the lungs and opening. So let's do that one move. Breathe in and breathe out, bend over, bend the knees, bend down and sweep. And then we slowly rise up, hands up towards the sky, look up, and then we stretch the front of the body, and then the hands, the fingers curl very gently, and as we bring the hands down, we make that ha sound resonating in the heart, ha, till we get to the heart. Then we flip the palms up, still with a fist, a gentle light fist. Then we bend over at the waist and make the spleen sound, hoo. This one's a little harder to feel. We go up again. So this time we do 3 of these, ha, and bend over, hoo. Now we have to be mindful of engaging the core so we don't overload the back. Up, ha, hoo. And we come up again for another round. And this time we're going to do sh out, okay? And the hands are bellowing like this, right? As we bend down, protect the back, bend the knees. Okay, breathe in and we breathe out. And one long shh. and then gently rise up. Look up, stretch the front of the body. Ha, clearing the heart, bend over, clearing the spleen. Hoo. 2 more of these. Ha, hoo. 1 more. Ha, hoo. Really soak in that resonance, that frequency, that vibration, and breathe in. We'll do 1 more, sir. So this is like a snake. Let's breathe out. And feel the arms acting like bellows of the lungs and breathing everything out. And then gently rise up. Ha, bend over. Hoo. Breathe in, rise up. Ha, clearing the heart, clearing the spleen. Hoo. 1 more of this round. Ha, hoo. And 1 more full round with the sh sound as we come out, and bend over. Bellows the lungs. And then gently stretch the front of the body. Really feel into the heart when we make that sound. Ha, hoo. And the spleen is getting massaged. Ha, clear any tension around the heart. Clear the tension around the spleen. 1 more time. Ha, bend over. And now gently, gently, gently rise up. And let's get back into Wuji and pause and feel. Feel free to keep your eyes closed or gaze soft in front of you. And now what's the quality of the energy here? Oh my goodness. Okay. I feel like I've just had a menthol mint and it's all cool and fresh. Okay, that's a first. I'm just sharing what I'm feeling. You don't have to feel the same, but goodness gracious, this is a very cooling, light feeling. It's different. I mean, whatever your experience is your experience, but I want you to really be so, so close to every nuance in the body, the temperature, the texture. Is there a color? Is there a fragrance? Is there a feeling? What is going on? What's happening on the skin, the palms, the fingertips, the toes, the heels, the soles of the feet? Just feel into it. How is that different? How does this make you feel? And you'll have thoughts, you'll have lists, to-do lists, and just allow them to come, allow them to float away. Greet them and then bid them farewell. And come back to the body, come back to the breath. What's the quality of the heart space, the lungs? And then slowly shake it out and release. So now we're going to clear the spleen. There's a sound for clearing and there's a movement and there is an emotion associated with it. So I'll just quickly show you, it's not too difficult. The only thing is if you have some compromised shoulder blades or shoulders or collarbones, you'll have to modify in a way that suits your body. So what we do here is maybe feet are a little wider than hips distance, so when I tell you about the feet, it's about the stability. So we, make sure that you're not going to wobble or come, topple over, and we interlock the fingers and then we push out so the palms are away from us and we bring the arms up in a way that we're not bringing the shoulders to the ears, but we've got the palms up. Now, if this is too much for your shoulders, I'm happy for you to just come down, because the main movement is the spleen massaging and this accordion effect, right? So if this is too much and we're going to do it for a while, feel free to just play with the height of the hands. And the main thing is I want you to not worry too much about the hands, but do this. Okay, so let's breathe in, breathe up, and then we breathe in to the left. So I'm opposite to you, but this time I can't mirror you. So the spleen is on the left, and we're going to go to this side, to the right. And then as we accordion back, we're going to make that who sound, and we're going to accordion close towards the spleen. So breathe in and then breathe out. Whoo. Breathe in. Whoo. And breathe out worry and confusion. Breathe in. Whoo. Breathe in. Breathe out worry and confusion. Whoo. Breathe in and stretch up. Accordion is going out. Accordion is going in. Whoo. Breathe in and stretch right up this side. And now breathe out. Whoo. I suggest to engage the abs a little bit so you're not loading that lower back. So we stretch beautifully on this long side of the left of the body. Stretching the connective tissue, making space for the organ. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in. Last one. And again, if you're modifying, just stay down here. And then we come back to center. Just allow the hands to come up and then float to the side. Let's stand in Wuji for a moment and see what we feel. Is there more space here on the left side under the rib cage? Is there a temperature? A texture? How does it feel? Does this side feel lighter? Does the left feel lighter than the right? Maybe there's no feeling at all, and that's perfectly okay. You can imagine and visualize that the spleen has been cleared. Activating that beautiful digestive function, clearing away worry and confusion, and release and gently. And now before we go into the nourishing of the organ, let's just do some pull down heavens so we just get a little balanced before we start to nourish. So feet a little wider than hip distance, soft in the knees, spine is upright. We create some friction in the palms, so we've got that heat, that energy. So we, in Qigong, everything is about energy, internal energy, and we want to feel it as much as we can. And now gently bring the hands, flex them hip height, feel if there's an electromagnetic pull to the earth, if the palms are tingling. And if not, just imagine it. And then that is the energy we try and bring up from the earth. We're resisting a little bit like there's a magnetic pull. So we breathe in the earth's energy. And then we look up and flip up. And allow the fingertips to come slightly closer to one another, like there's a little roof on top, and then bring that sky energy down through the body. So we're balancing. Sometimes when we clear, it can be a little depleting. And so the nourishment needs to be balanced out. So we bring it up, breathe in, look up. Shower down that heavenly energy. And I always say it can be blue sky, it can be the sun, it can be the night sky with the stars, the cosmos, whatever you want to bring into the cellular level of the body. And then one more. Rise up, look up, and bring it down and in, into the body. Let's just rest in Wuji for a few moments. How does that feel? We're just taking time, so much care, so much kindness, awareness to regulate the nervous system, to get out of that fight, flight, freeze, get into rest and digest, softness and ease and grace. And gently come back. And now for the nourishing, it's a little, I always find this a little funny because it's a very minimal movement and you think, well, what's going on here? But it's almost like there's an energy connection to the sky. So what we do here is we make a diamond shape with our index finger and thumb. So the diamond, and then the other fingers come together. I don't know, like when we were kids, we used to say, twinkle, twinkle, little star, you know, and this is the diamond in the sky. That's how I used to do it. And so the people at home, if you can see, it's kind of more like a triangle. It's supposed to be a diamond. Maybe my thumbs are short, but you get the idea. There's this window. There's a window to the celestial realm, okay? And what we're doing, oh, my lungs didn't clear well enough, I suppose. What we're doing is we're bringing the hands up. And again, if your shoulders are compromised, we can do it with intention and gentleness. But if you are able, you peer through that celestial window. And all you're going to do here now is twist the torso from side to side. We breathe in as we come to the center, breathe out as we go to the side. The hips are stable. And we bring that beautiful, nourishing energy. It could be the moon, it could be the stars. And we're actually just twisting the torso and the shoulder girdle. And we're not even twisting the eyes move, but the head doesn't really move a lot. And so it's a very soft, gentle spinal twist. And it's like, it's a soft kind of agitated action like the washing machine. You know, there's that thing in the center and it makes everything clean. And so imagine we're just spinning around the center of the spine. And we breathe in as we come into the center, breathe out as we twist, and we're massaging the spleen. The shoulders might get tired, please bring it down and just use that visualization. And we're bringing in that harvest gold. Breathe in the harvest gold from the earth, and we're breathing in clarity and confidence into the spleen. So that harvest gold may rise up from the earth into the spleen. You can bring it, maybe think of a cornfield. We're standing in a cornfield and that beautiful harvest gold is all around, and we allow that to come into the body. Very gently, very softly. And we'll just finish, we'll do 3 more rounds. So we go either side. It's actually quite a good shoulder strengthening as well. Let's do one last one. Either side, golden light, golden essence, and bring the hands down. And we have nourished ourselves with clarity, confidence. Let's bring the hands back up to that spleen and just feel, hopefully the hands are warm enough. Feel that spleen nourished, revitalized. Bring some warmth, some care, some kindness, and then shake it out. So that was a little taxing on the shoulders. And I say, if you ever do want to practice that at home, please feel free, like always feel free that if something is beyond discomfort and getting into like pain, just modify. You know, you can always be here and just see the moon or the stars or whatever it is through that area. I think we need to just open up the arms and the shoulders a little bit. So we'll just do some shoulder rolls. So here, feet hip distance is fine, little bend in the knees, and let's just breathe through and roll the shoulders up and around, and one by one. Just breathe through and be very gentle, like we're doing backstroke in the water, just opening up that shoulder girdle, just giving it a little bit more space. Breathing up and around. We'll do a few more in this direction. And then on the next side around, we'll come backwards. I mean forward, sorry. We were doing back to front, now we do forward to back. No, back to forward. I don't know what I'm saying. So we go from the back forward. In Australia, we call this the Aussie crawl. It's like it's a swimming movement. We call it the Aussie crawl. Freestyle is Aussie crawl. It's very smooth, very gentle, breathing through it. And let's finish in 3, in 2, in 1, and shake it out. Shake it out. Let's just move our hips a little bit, and if you need, hydration is very important. When we're clearing and cleansing and nourishing, the whole of today, I would like you to make sure that you're very cognizant of your hydration, and warm tea, herbal tea is very good. The other thing is, please, you might feel a little hungry. So please nourish yourselves with, really beautiful, nutrient-dense foods. You may feel a little tighter than usual. It depends, everybody's different. And so if you need to rest, try and take a little bit of time to rest, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You might want to lie down. You may feel invigorated. Everybody acts differently. And so just honor whatever the messages the body's sending. But if you do get 5 minutes to just sit very quietly, or to lie down for 5, well, we're going to do the lying down here as well. But as the day goes on, you may feel the energy shift. Could be going up, it could be going down. Just be aware of that, and yeah, keep your liquids up. So feet are much wider than hips distance, hands on hips, and we're going to do the hip circles. So we've been standing for quite a while, like to get some movement into those joints. And just feel very smooth and creamy. I often find that I feel textures in my body when I move. So to me, this is like a beautiful pot of, in Australia, we call it pumpkin soup. Here, I think you have a winter squash, like thick and creamy and like molasses. Just feel very juicy. I don't know. And then we will very gently circle in the opposite direction. Feel the bones in the feet, in the toes, they're moving. They're getting a little bit of lubrication, hydration because of the movement. The ankles, the knees, the hips. Even the spine is kind of having a little gyration. Allow that to replenish you. Allow that to make you feel really good. I'm going to celebrate this movement in our body. And let's pause in 3, 2, and 1, and come to the center. And we bring our feet together, cup the palms and put the palms over the knees. Actually, let's massage them. So if you have a lower back issue, please keep your feet wider. And you may want to sit and do this on a chair at home if you're having any trouble. Engage and massage around the knees, behind the back of the knees, on the patella, on the kneecap, on the side of the knees. You may want to rub your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, your shins, wherever, just like bring some nourishment into the fascia, into the connective tissue. And then let's just cup the knees once you're done, and we're going to circle the knees. So we're circling the knees, just adding a little extra articulation into these ankles and knees here, into those teeny tiny bones in the feet. Engage the core a little bit so you're protecting your lower back. And if bending is not available, please feel free to do this with your hands on your thighs and your spine longer and taller. And let's very slowly go in the opposite direction. Again, this is anything that may still be stuck and stagnant in those joints. We can just lubricate and articulate that. I don't know if my feet are cracking around my heels. It's such a wonder. I mean, I do this practice every day, 5 days a week, and still the cracks are there. So and let's stop in 3, 2, and 1, and then we stay here and we bend and stretch. And so we're bending in to the knees and stretching the hamstrings at any height, anywhere that is comfortable to you. We just want a little bit of a stretch of the hamstrings. Just allow them to become supple. And again, protecting the back, engage the lower abdominals. And let's pause in 3, 2, and 1, and stay bent. Hands are on the thighs, and we push up through the heels. Keep the vertebra rounded and coming up, stacking up one by one as we come up to standing. Shake it out. We'll end with, we're going to end with embrace the tiger, return to the mountain. And then we'll go down. I'm hoping for a little longer meditation today. So let's harmonize and balance with the movement that we're about to do. Breathing, moving meditation. So for those that are new, we have our hands flexed in front of us, and we pull them apart like we're skimming our fingertips on a lake, and then we bring the thumbs together and then put the back of the hands together like a reverse prayer. We come up and knife edge of the hands forward, bend down. Describe 2 arcs of the rainbow. Bring that in, store that energy. And we breathe out, skim the lake. Breathe in, reverse prayer up to the heart. Flip it out, knife edge. Breathe in, rainbow. Breathe out and store. And breathe in to the lower energy center and a golden ball of light. Imagine that right between your hands near the navel. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And then bring those hands towards the navel. We're storing that energy, that beautiful vitality, and picturing a golden ball of light. It's nourishing, harmonizing, We'll do a few more of these. Skim the hands on the leg. Reverse prayer up to the heart. Knife edge of the hand out in front. Describing a rainbow. Bringing that beautiful nourishment into that lower belly. The fire of that chi ball glowing. And last one, skim the lake. Reverse prayer, hands out, up and around, and store, gather, replenish, harmonize. Allow that golden ball to glow between the hands. And then gently release. We'll bring down the heavens one time. So we've got our hands to the side and we bring up the earth energy, shower ourselves with that heavenly sky energy, gently activating all the cells, harmonizing, aligning, balancing all of the work that we've done today, moving that energy, moving those stuck emotions. So the physical movement is complete and we'll go down to the ground. So I would like you to get as comfortable as you can. Please put a bolster under your knees. Wear something warm as your body temperature will drop as we go into meditation. And the idea is to either have the bolster under the thighs, under the knees, and the whole back is on the floor. The feet are about hips distance and the feet are splayed out. The hands are close to the hips, palms facing up, and start to wriggle, move around and feel as comfortable as you can feel on the floor. If the full laying down doesn't suit you, please bring your feet, the soles of your feet onto the ground. The knees are pointing to the sky, but then bring those knees together so you're knock-kneed and the feet splay out a little bit. This is called constructive pose in yoga. It's a very restorative pose if you have any back trouble. And now let's melt into the earth. Just very slowly, gently soften the body, soften the skin on the body. Just allow the mind to be soft and gentle and come into the skin of the body. The skin is soft and supple. So relax the skin on the body. Allow the skin to feel silky, creamy, gentle, velvety. So we relax the skin on the scalp, on the forehead. Soften the skin on the cheeks, the tip of the nose, the chin. Unclench the jaw. The whole of the head, back of the head is soft. Soften the flesh around the skull, the flesh on the face. And soften the bones of the skull and the face. We come down to the neck, the shoulders, relax the skin. Soften the flesh. Soften the bones. We move down the arms, the hands and fingers, soft skin, soft flesh, soft bones. It's almost a weightless feeling. Come down to the chest, to the heart space, the back of the shoulders, the upper back. Smooth skin, smooth flesh, smooth bones. We focus on the spleen. We draw in a beautiful harvest gold light from the earth, from the elements, from the harvested fields. Bring that golden harvest yellow into the spleen. Allow that golden light to glow within the spleen and all around it, replenishing, making way for softness, bringing in confidence, bringing in clarity, softening the digestive organs. We soften the skin, the flesh, all around the belly, all around the lower back. Soften the rib cage. Come down to the hips, the pelvis, the buttocks. Smooth skin, smooth flesh, smooth bones. And now to the thighs. Silky, creamy skin. Beautiful, plump, juicy, hydrated flesh. Strong, supple bones. All around the knees, softening, strengthening. The calves and the shins. Allow a feeling of weightlessness. Smooth skin. Plump, hydrated flesh. Strong, powerful bones. All the way down to the top of the feet, the soles of the feet. Smooth flesh, smooth skin, strong bones. Now imagine that beautiful harvest gold light from the spleen, glowing, luminous, lighting up the entire torso, spreading up through the chest, the neck, the head, down the arms, and from the spleen down through the belly, the buttocks, the legs, the feet, glowing, radiating that golden light, radiating confidence and clarity, replenishing, refreshing. Allow that golden light to glow within and all around, creating a beautiful protective shield of energy, a sovereign boundary, and within that sovereign boundary, that beautiful golden bubble, we bring kindness, compassion, and love into our hearts for ourselves and for others. Kindness, compassion, and love for all living things on the planet and beyond. So we're cocooned in this bubble of love, kindness, and compassion. Allow it to nourish and grow. Just bathe in this beautiful resonance of gold, inhabiting this beautiful body of ours, taking a few moments of silence to just be. Softly, gently come back to the breath, come back to the body. Let's bring some movement into the fingers and the toes. You may want to circle the wrists and ankles. Gently move the head side to side. You may want to stretch the arms overhead, pointing the fingers close to the ground, pointing the toes, flexing the feet. Awakening the body, awakening the mind. Now we bring one knee and the other knee towards the chest, Cross the ankles, cup the knees with the palms, and just rock gently side to side if this is available to you. Massaging ever so gently the back, like rocking a baby in a cradle. We want to be so kind and so caring and loving of this body, as though it was a teeny tiny baby that we were looking after. And now just turn onto the right side all the way through. Want to use your upper arm as a pillow and just stay here in this side lying position for a few breaths. In the fetal position, very soothing, calming, nourishing. And then we use our hands to push ourselves up to a seated position, anything that's comfortable to you. Again, you may want to sit on a chair, stay on the ground, sit on a cushion or a bolster. Come up. Be very mindful of how we move the body after having been in the resting pose. Bring a little heaviness into the hips. The shoulders are up, back, and down again. And let's pull down the heavens one time. So let's create a little bit of friction, heat. Palms to the side. Lift up the earth energy. Flip up and shower down the energy from the sky, from the heavens, from the cosmos. Nourishing, revitalizing, balancing all the way down, back down to the earth. And then we bring our palm onto our palm, make a butterfly, put it onto the center of the chest, bow our heads in reverence of the practice today. The love, the light, the beauty and joy in me sees and honors the love, the light, the beauty, the joy in you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. We are now complete. Thank you. So next week, we're going to be looking at the lungs. And I should have prepared exactly what we're doing, but lungs, we're going to clear grief and sadness. And I've got a list here. It says we're going to bring in integrity, but I wish there was something more than integrity, so I'm going to look it up. And it is associated with autumn. So I hope, and that'll be good actually, because I know that hopefully the fires will finish, but it's good to do a whole round of lungs next week. And if you have any questions or concerns, so if you want to practice during the week, bring your mind into your spleen. If you ever feel worry and confusion, just release it. You can release it through breath. You can bring in confidence and clarity. Maybe just try it a couple of times and see how it goes. And you can do that accordion release if you like. Yeah, and I'm happy to get any feedback or get any questions. And looking forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Highlight of my week, to be in this room with this beautiful energy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.